Welcome, everybody, to WagerTalk Today. I am Lawrence Presman. They call me the GOAT. And we've got a great show today. We got Jimmy Adams coming on right at the beginning of the show. He's going to give some actionable information on how to bet the Giants and Reds game. Two teams heading in different directions. San Francisco Giants, hot as hell. And the Reds, well, they're in the Arctic, freezing their tuchus off. He's also going to talk about Mississippi State in college football. He's going to look at their over and under win totals on the season. Carmine Bianco after that. And we're going to do a deep dive into soccer on this show, one of the most bet sports in the world, and two big tournaments that are going to be played. We've got the Women's World Cup. I already have a bet down on Canada at plus 3,200 to win it all. We'll talk to Carm about that. And we're going to talk about the League Cup. Messi coming to America, Inter Miami, ready to rock. We're going to go into that as well. And we're also going to discuss the Australian-Ireland Women's World Cup game. I am hosting alone. I should be doing it all week. There will be no What Did Bettors Learn and no BS strategy, but we will talk about the BS strategy between guests because I need your help. Let's get it on the way. Jimmy Adams. How are you, my brother? Nice to see you, man.
Doing great, Prez. Had a little time to clear the mind over the All-Star break, and we are firing away back in action.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's breaks and there are breaks. The MLB All-Star break is literally, if you exclude women's basketball, the only real break we get all year. Did you do anything special?
Took a trip down to San Antonio, played a little poker, but basically didn't pay attention to much for 4 days because I just needed to clear the mind. Like you said, only 4 days of the year. So I'm focused and ready to get some winners, though.
Did you, was it cash or tournament poker, and how did you do?
Cash. I'm just a 1-2 no limit player. You know, I make a small profit, couple hundred, get out of there. Nothing special.
Well, for all you cash players out there, I'll give you all one piece of advice on how to attack a cash game from a macro perspective. Fold all medium aces and fold them fast. Never, ever go to the flop with ace 9 or ace 10. All that's going to do is damage you. You will win nothing and you will lose a lot. Go to the flop with low suited connectors, play the implied odds, try to lose a little and win a lot. 5, 6 of hearts. You can't get damaged. Guy raises, another guy calls. That's an instant call. Flop comes ace, queen, king. Fold. No problem. Flop comes ace, 5, 5. Stack the bitch. Jimmy! The Reds are playing San Fran. And, I was looking at this game. I just put my play up today, and I wanted to play this game. I played Cincinnati on Saturday. They lost to Milwaukee. This Cincinnati team has gone ice cold. They have barely been able to score. They put up 3 runs in their last game against Milwaukee. Before that, in cricket, they call it a duck. 3 ducks in a row. They've lost their bats. But I will tell you this. When they start hitting, they're going to be an instant over team right away. Is it tonight? How do we bet this game?
So I do not believe it's tonight, Prez. So the Reds have been a great story, as you mentioned, in the NL Central. Everyone's kind of been rooting for them, but losing 5 of 6 to the Brewers is a real morale killer. And like you mentioned also, the offense has come to a screeching halt since he shut out in 3 straight games before putting up a 3 spot yesterday. So in their past 4. Now they get to face Logan Webb, who's coming off a complete game shutout against the Rockies in his last start. No walks and 10 Ks in that performance. And when he's not striking out batters, Webb does a great job of keeping the ball on the ground with his sinker changeup slider combo. over 60% ground ball rate, which is very important at Great American Ballpark, which tends to be hitter friendly, as we all know. If you're wondering about his numbers career against the Reds, well, he doesn't really have an ERA against them. He's faced them 3 times, 0.00 ERA. And look, so we know the Giants are worse in the lefty split offensively, right? As hot as they are. So we're going to count on Brandon Williamson to do his part here. And despite his overall numbers, Williamson really hasn't been that bad lately. Take that with a grain of salt. He had a couple starts shortened due to rain delays, but hasn't allowed more than 3 earned in any of his past 5. Uh, Both bullpens relatively strong overall numbers on the season. I'm going to recommend an under in this game, and I wouldn't be opposed to playing the team total of the Reds under 4.5 right now at DraftKings either.
Yeah, Jimmy, I mean, look, it makes sense. Both these teams, well, the Cincinnati especially, they're 4 unders in a row. San Fran is zigzagging. They did go over yesterday with an 8-4 victory against Pittsburgh. To me, my worry here is the bullpens. I looked at this game and I was thinking to take the under in the first 5, let the starting pitchers battle it out. I felt like 3-1 still gave me a 1-run window to cash this. Why do you prefer the under in the game over the under in the first 5?
I don't necessarily. I think that's a way to go. I think you got 3 good options, but 10 is just a super high number for the full game.
Yeah.
Logan Webb could very well go deep into the game. Giants bullpen has exceeded expectations, I would say, this season. So we have 3 options that I wouldn't argue with. I think you make a great point, Chris.
Jimmy Adams joining us, everyone. Jimmy, before we get into college football, you are always rolling. It's unbelievable. And what I really want to talk about, look, your baseball's been great, 46 units of profit in your 3% plays year to date. But let's put that aside, man. Your NFL, and I have to tell everybody, guys, if you're going to pick one person to play in NFL from start to finish this year, last year, Jimmy made 56 units of profit. Basically, you bet $100 on every unit he put out last year. You made $5,600 of profit. It's just an exceptional number. You are a very low volume NFL player. Are you expecting, hoping for the same type of season, or was last year just one of those monster aberrations?
No, of course we're ready to go back to back, Prez. I think I will up the volume a little bit. I am rather low volume, but you can expect probably in the range of 4 to 5 plays from me a week. Like the Prez said, up 56 units last year. I've already got a play up and available that you can grab because we didn't want to miss the line movement on that one. There's a free play on my page. But yeah, of course I'm expecting another great season. Cashed in circa last year, but we need to cash higher this year, Prez, improve as we go along.
Yeah, well, listen, you improve on last year's NFL season, and I don't know, I'll speak to Johnny, we should get you a bonus or something. I mean, last year's NFL season was sick. Guys, if you're playing anyone in NFL this year, Jimmy Adams. So head over to WagerTalk, check out his page, grab his NFL. Are you going to be doing preseason, or are you just going to wait it out till the start of the year?
I will be doing preseason. Big advantages to be had. That's a big misnomer if you're new to sports betting and you think, oh, preseason's for degenerates. No. Yeah, you can find huge advantages. First string at going against second string, all kinds of stuff. So I'll be in action in the preseason.
Excellent stuff. Jimmy Adams, everyone. Jimmy, let's go to college football. Mississippi State. You like under 6.5 season wins? That will obviously keep them out of the bowls. What's going on? Why is this team so crap?
Okay, so the team's not crap. But yeah, I have bet the Mississippi State season win total under 6.5. it's just going to be a really tough season for the Bulldogs following the passing of Mike Leach, a guy that I think we can all
Yeah.
agree is pretty much irreplaceable. He did a tremendous job with the program. So in steps Zach Arnett, a defensive-minded coach, and there's a new OC as well. Kevin Barbet comes over from Appalachian State. He did a very good job there, but let's just be real. This is a huge step up in class moving over to the SEC. The good news, they still have Will Rogers, and they do return a fair amount of experience on offense. However, putting it all together is another story. And they have some serious question marks on defense, particularly in the secondary. They have to replace both safeties. They have to replace corners. So the passing attack for opposing offenses could be strong. So the Bulldogs averaged 9.4 yards per completion last season. Let me just put that in comparison for you. That's worse than Iowa's offense. And I know that was kind of Mike Leach's style, but with him no longer being around, I don't think Mississippi State's going to be able to replicate this. And look, it's not that Mississippi State doesn't have any talent, but they're most likely going to be the worst team in the SEC West because the rest of the teams are just so much better. And it's very hard to find more than one win for me on the conference schedule. I mean, LSU right out the gate. How about Bama a few weeks later? At Arkansas, at Texas A&M. And if they slip up in one of their non-conference games, this under's a lock. So basically, with the coaching turnover and a tough conference slate, I think this team's going to have to fight to be bowl eligible. Mississippi State under 6.5 wins the play for me.
Yeah, Jimmy, great stuff. And guys who wrote in the chat room, yes, when I said they suck, yes, they play in the best division in college football, but Kansas City Royals suck, and they play in the best baseball league in the world. So I don't see the relevance. Sucking is sucking. Jimmy, what do you got to promote?
Look, along with the baseball play that I gave out, we're stepping it up and giving a 4% total, just $9. We're going to keep things rolling in baseball. Prez already touched on the NFL, so consider getting involved in a early subscription with that. But let's make it a monster week in baseball. We cashed our 5%er right out of the All-Star break,
Nice.
and I'm ready to roll. So good luck, everyone.
Awesome stuff. Jimmy Adams, everybody. You can find him at WagerTalk.com. So we're going to bring Carmine Bianco in shortly, but a few quick things from my perspective. Number one, every day we try to do a segment called Betting Strategy, where we take your questions and we answer them. Guys, we need questions. Please. When this show goes up on YouTube after it's live, so in about 20 minutes, put your questions down. We will answer anything you want. Ask an investment question. Ask a question about gold. Ask a question about crypto. Ask a question about stocks. My daughter says we should buy Mattel because of the Barbie movie. Be careful with that stock. Overvalued right now. And it's already baked into the price. Ask us a question, please. As well, and I mentioned this before, if you haven't seen the show The Offer, that should be an absolute priority. It is about the making of The Godfather, Miles Teller, and Giovanni Ribisi. My God, what a performance from him. I would say it's the best show I've seen in a long, long time, to be honest with you. You can find it on Paramount Plus through the Amazon Prime. The Offer. You will thank me later. Carmine Bianco joining us. How are you, Carm?
Actually, thank me. I'm the one who told you to watch The Offer about 2 months ago. I'm glad you finally got a chance to see it.
Well, you know, when an Italian tells you to watch something Italian, you take it with a grain of salt. I needed an Irishman to tell me. Oh man,
Gotcha.
A lot of people told me. Carm, speaking of telling me, I'm golfing on Friday afternoon with Jared, and he stops us on the green, and he's like, "Guys, I heard the craziest statistic. Are you ready for this? There are more planes in the ocean than submarines in the sky. Yep.
All right.
True story, Carm. Anyway, dude, I bet Canada plus 3,200 to win. How terrible, horrific? I mean,
No.
I thought there was a ton of value there.
No, it's listen. They've got a good team as they always do. They've got an aging Christine St. Clair. Who knows? This is her 6th World Cup, kind of like Marta from Brazil, and who are looking to score in their 6th World Cup. But we'll see. I'm not sure what, as far as what she brings to this team, other than leadership. I think at this point. But they're in a group with Australia, who we're going to talk about as far as Australia is one of the hosts of this tournament, along with New Zealand, and probably of the two hosts has the better chance of making a deep run. The Matildas got a pretty good team, of course, led by Sam Kerr, who scores a ton of goals in the Super League, which gets played obviously in England, the Premier League. But Canada should get out of the group. I think Australia wins that group. Canada finishes second. And then it's just where they go from there. Obviously, finishing second in the group isn't ideal because you're going to face the tougher bracket moving forward as far as Canada goes. But they're a team that plays extremely well defensively and just played England in a friendly. And the Lionesses are the second choices in this World Cup at plus 450 to win it, and are the defending Euro champions. But I don't think they're going to win it. But Canada will likely meet the Lionesses probably in the quarterfinals or semifinals, I believe. So we'll see what happens with Canada. I get it. It's kind of a homer's bet for you, and they are the Olympic champions of 2020. We'll see what happens with Canada. But let's talk about this first game, Prez.
Yeah, well, I mean, firstly, it's not specifically a homer bet. I mean, I looked at it. I'm like, here's the world champs, best soccer player in history plays on their team. They are loaded with talent, albeit a few aging stars. 3,200 just seemed like a lot of value to me, and it's soccer, Carm. I mean, you just get into the knockout stage, and anything can happen. We've seen it over and over and over again. Speaking of anything, let's go into the first game. We've got Australia, the Matildas. My favorite name in all of sports, the Matildas. Oh my God. They're playing Ireland. What's Ireland's name, Carm?
Ireland.
So you don't know,
this is Ireland's first World Cup. For the women's national team. So I don't even know if they have. We'd have to ask Kevin Dolan that question. As
the
far
Guinness-stresses. The Guinness-stress.
But I love the Matildas, and probably because my mom's name, was Tilda. So there's a little bit of it there. But listen, Australia, as far as the two hosts go, Australia the better of the two. New Zealand. I just don't see them even getting out of the group stages, but we'll have to see about that one. Australia's, as far as the odds go, I think are 10-1. They've dropped a bit. Pretty good team, and they just come off a game friendly, beating France with both teams using their starters. So a good little warm up for them. This is one of those games where you look at the odds, and there's always a lot of volatility in these lines. Volatility. Anyways, we're not here for a grammar lesson. We're here to talk about Women's World Cup soccer, Prez. And this is one of those ones where you look at the line and you're going to see some line movements. This is an actual play I gave out to my clients, is what I'm going to talk about. So this is Ireland's first time in the World Cup, but in watching some of their games in their lead up to getting here into the World Cup and qualifying for the first time, this is a team that they're not a minnow in the sense of teams like Vietnam were like 6-goal underdogs to the USA in the first game. A lot of these teams that are gonna probably get beaten badly. This is a team that plays defense first, defends first, and if you're a fan of the game and you like to see action, this isn't the type of game that you like to see, because they'll play 10 women behind the ball, and just try and defend first, counterattack, try and keep the game as close as possible. And this is what they're going to do here. They played a couple of friendlies, back-to-back friendlies against the U.S. in April, and did exactly that. They ended up, U.S. played pretty much their starting, their A group unit, and won the two games by 1-0 and 2-0 score lines, which is why I'm leaning to the under here. I gave this play to my clients at 2.75 a while ago, probably about 2.5 weeks ago. I put some lines up, and because I thought there'd be some line movement, and I wanted to get my clients on the best line. It's now down to 2.5, minus 130 on the over. I think at 2.5, it's still a play. You're at plus 110 on the under. This is one of those games that really fits into that category, because Australia is a very good defensive side as well too. That it's a 1-0, 2-0 type of game, and I wouldn't want to lay the 1.5 goals with Australia here, even though I think in all likelihood they could get there, because this game could very well end 1-0, and at the you have to factor in the heat, factor in cooling breaks into this. Obviously the heat in Australia, so. Taking the under here is a good play, because a 1-0 or 2-0 score line is the likely result here. I don't actually think Ireland are going to score here, so I would take that. And Ireland just played a game, Prez, you're going to love this one. It was almost like a hockey game. It was they played Colombia a few days ago, and the game got called off after 30 minutes because it became too physical. Colombia sent one of the Ireland players, a midfielder, Denise O'Sullivan, to the hospital with a couple of bad tackles, and she's walking around in a boot right now. And so they may be missing her for that, at least the first game. So the under here is the play.
Yeah, Carmine Bianco joining us, everyone. An unbelievable sports bettor. Really made his reputation on soccer. So follow what he's talking about. And Carm, speaking of Australia, did you see the women's rugby team from Canada just take Australia, throw them over their legs, and spank the crap out of them? When would you think a Canadian rugby team would annihilate an Australian rugby team? I watched the game on Friday night. I didn't even know it was on. I just pressed power on my TV, and there it was, and I was freaking enthralled. Didn't get a bet down on it, but go Canada. Okay, so guys in the chat room asking questions for the BS strategy, please put it up in the comment section after the show. I'm hosting the show alone. It's really hard to read all the comments and copy them and paste them and save them for later. Put it in the comment section. Carm and I are golfing in an hour together. Carm, I'm hoping to hit around an 89. You?
I'm hoping to break 100. I've only played twice this year, and that's after taking 10 years off after a back injury. So I plan on having fun regardless.
Oh, absolutely, dude. It's going to be a blast, and I'm so glad you're coming. Okay, so Ted Cruz's team, the Azul, are playing Inter Miami. Plus 115 for Inter. The draw is plus 250, and Ted Cruz is plus 210. How do we bet? I mean, please don't tell me to bet Inter Miami here. Like, I understand Messi's coming back, but if there's ever been an absolutely skewed line, this is it. What do we do in this game?
It is. It's absolutely skewed. You know, the effects of one player, as far as like the sports books go, and on what even the prices that tickets are selling for this game. I saw a report that some of the best tickets are selling for $110,000. Now, you could ask whatever you want, but no one's going to spend that much to watch this game. But yeah, the prices are ridiculous, and I'm going to guess $3,000 to $4,000 is going to be the going range for people who want to spend the money in Miami to watch any of these games. But that's the effect of Lionel Messi, the greatest footballer in the world, arguably the greatest footballer in the world. I'll let other people argue about that one. But you look at Inter Miami are are dead last in the MLS amongst the 29 teams with 18 points. And this is the effect that he has on a team. Also, another player, Sergio Busquets, formerly of Barcelona as well, too, and a good friend of him, playing with the team as well. But here's the thing is, of all the Mexican teams that are playing in this tournament, and there are some very good teams in this tournament, he probably gets the one team that isn't really in form right now. Mexico has a couple seasons. Liga MX has a couple seasons in a year. The Clausura and the Apertura. They're in that one now. They're 3 games in. They've lost all 3 games by a 6-1 goal margin. In the one earlier this year, they finished 8th in that one. Not a great season for them either in that one, finishing 7-3-7, 7 losses. Not a very good record for this team. So maybe maybe Miami gets a bit of a break, not having to face one of the better League MX teams in this one. And even the books in the future odds, Prez, they have Miami at plus 1,200 to win this tournament. I think they're the 5th or 6th favorites in this. Now, I don't want to say that, I never want to talk about conspiracy theories or what have you, but Apple TV owns the rights to this. All games are on Apple TV. Some of them are going to be on a Fox in the US, but they would love nothing better than as much Lionel Messi on TV as possible. So we'll see what happens here. But I honestly think that one player can make the difference, and I would take the plus 115. This line opened up much higher. At Miami was plus 170, plus 180, and then once it was confirmed that Messi would make his first official start on the 21st, which is Friday, the line just continued to drop. Everyone is betting them, and I get it. When everyone goes one way, the contrarian wants you to go the other, but I think this is the right spot for him. It's going to be an exciting game. I'm going to watch it, and we'll see what happens. But plus 115, having the greatest player on earth against a team that isn't playing their best football right now, I'm going to take the plus money. Maybe I'm falling for the blue pill here or the red pill, whichever one it is, but I'm going to take it.
Look, Carm, I get the interest, man. If Tom Brady played in the CFL tomorrow, I would definitely want to see how he does. With that said, I could care freaking less. At least he's not pulling a Pele and showing up to New York at 58 years old. We should get a couple of decent years out of Messi. Carmine Bianco, everybody. Carm, what do you got to promote?
Yeah, so we have the double tournament package. So every single, and I already have a bunch of plays loaded already. Every single World Cup play that I release, prop bets, futures, game lines, totals. You get those, all the League Cup games. These are going on for the next 30 days. Both tournaments are running at the same time. You can get that over at WagerTalk for $199, and you'll get a coupon for $199 towards the NHL package. I finished number 1 at WagerTalk in NHL last season, so you'll get $199 off of the full NHL season package. But here's another thing: is for the next couple of days, you can use coupon code CUP30. Cup 30 will get you an additional $30 off that $199 price. So you'll get a great deal. Get a ton of plays for $169, and we got some future bets up. Lawrence, I'll say this quickly. I was on the show a couple weeks ago, and 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I said I put out a futures bet. I told you guys to take the USA to win this tournament and Mexico to win the Gold Cup. Well, Mexico just won the Gold Cup. That parlay on the 2 futures together was paying $8.45, I believe. So now that Mexico has won the Gold Cup, you now have the USA at plus 845 when the true odds on the USA winning the World Cup are plus 260. So that's a great deal. That was a great price. If you took advantage of it, you're sitting on a very good ticket right now.
Best show on the planet, best handicapping team on the planet. Always great information. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Love you all. Carm, see you at golf.